Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Simply Colorful FiberCast. My name is Lynn. I'm your host, and today's date, I've got it backwards here, is September 29th, 2017. I cannot believe October will be here on Sunday. So welcome. Welcome to my studio. FiberCast is all about what we can do together for the next 60 minutes, and I am thrilled to continue working on the Color Wheel Quilts mystery quilt that they have done for us. It's called the Scrappy Square Dance. And for anyone who may be tuning in for the first time, make sure you go to either simplycolorful.com or to the Color Wheel Quilts Facebook page, or to the Simply Colorful Mystery Quilt Along Facebook page, and you should be able to find the files with all of the free clues. Now this clue has 2 steps. So if you weren't confused before, now we're really confused. So that's one thing that I should have, maybe I should have put which clue it was, but it doesn't matter, because you know what? At the end of the day, these directions are wonderful, and they're all going to be put together into one pattern. But this week we're working on step 4 and step 5, and I have a lot to do, so I am going to crank. Basically, in step 4, we end up with making, this is diagram 5. And we'll go over each of these. This is diagram 6, an example. This is diagram 7. And this is diagram 8. So it's really looking scrappy, and I can't wait to see it all put together. And I know I've seen several of your comments online, and I know you're looking forward to it too. So first, let's go back to the beginning, step 4. We need to make 50 of these units. And I put my iron right here to make it easier and faster. I'm using my big iron. So we need 50 of these. So I've cut out 4.5-inch squares. And now I am just going to my rectangles, and I am just going to piece away. So Jean, if you're out there, you can see I have not done anything on it yet. I'm just as excited and just as new to each clue every Friday morning when I post these. And I'm really looking forward to seeing it finished. And I'm loving the colors that everyone's doing. So welcome to FiberCast. Happy Friday. Oh, I am glad it's Friday. My machine sounds a little noisy, so I will try and talk loud over it. Since I saw you last, we have been down to visit my mother. Hi, Mom, if you're there. We went fishing. I say we tried. We went fishing. We tried to catch fish. We didn't catch fish. But it was fun nonetheless, and we didn't lose any lures, and we went at night. So this was up at Menemsha. You can look if anyone's interested. MENEMSHA. It's off the coast of Massachusetts. It's a fishing village. And false albacore are jumping up there. We're jumping up there, and there were a lot of fisher people on the jetty, on the docks. They come out so this is what I learned, and I'll retain it until the next season, and then I'll have to ask my mother or Bob again. But basically, they come out during the day in the sunlight. They feed in the sunlight. And so, but the bass are around at night. So we went at night fishing for bass. And I know I'm terribly all over the place here, I'm rambling. But one thing that was really cool when we were fishing for bass off the jetty at Menemsha, or off the dock, is we kept hearing slaps. And I kept thinking they were the bass. And maybe some of them were. And we're talking little bass from what we could see. Apparently squid will jump out of the water and make that swishing noise. So that was something new. Couldn't see them, but you could hear them. Anyway, How's that for random dive into sewing? Let's find our flow. Sewing is as much about meditation as anything else. It's the repetition, the feel of the fabric. It all comes together into a wonderful, relaxing experience. With one exception, or I'm sure there's more than one exception, but I have had my share of frustrations this week. Even in the sewing department, which usually the sewing department is where I can really feel comfortable and unwind and not have stress. Well, this week was not that. I am having a dickens of a time quilting a baby quilt for Deb. So Deb, if you're out there, your baby quilt, and I should have pulled it up, but I don't want to ruin the surprise because I think it's a gift. I've called in the expert troops, and Kelsey's going to try and help us tomorrow. This is the backing that I'm trying to put on the back of that quilt. And it's minky, it is stretchy, it's polyester, but everyone tells me, and I've done the flat minky on my machine, but I cannot seem to get the tension right on this dots of machine. So anyway, we're calling in the experts. That's why I'm a beginner, and we'll see what we learn. So I have not done any quilts, but I've tested on cotton on both sides, and that I can do the tension right now. For whatever reason, again, something is just not right. And believe me, I've reached out to Kawartha Quilts up in Canada, but of course they're busy with MQX and shows, and there is a local representative out in New York that I'm trying to meet. So I'll figure it out, and it will feel really good when I figure it out. But right now I'm in that period of literally, I've been trying to solve this problem for more than a week. I've been sleeping on it. Then I ordered a bobbin tension gauge, tower gauge. I've changed battings. I've changed threads. I've changed needles. I've re-threaded the machine. I have walked away and let it sit overnight. I've oiled it. Anyway, we will figure it out. So what I did was I've pieced this second top behind me it's one of the tops I'm going to take to the New England Quilt Museum next Monday. I'm calling it Modern Chopsticks, and you make it out of fat quarters and fat yards. This one I actually made from my stash up in the attic. So you'll recognize a lot of 1980s pinks. And I'm going to get that on the machine and make sure that I can still do cotton fronts and backs. I'm sure I can. So have no fear. I'm just airing the dirty laundry. If you have a quilt you need quilted, please think of us and send it in. And I have another announcement. If you want to send pictures of what you're working on, just send them to lynn@simplycolorful.com. No more having to spell my last name. So it's lynn@simplycolorful.com. Send pictures of what you're working on, and we'll show them right here. So I'm supposed to make 50 of these. And with any luck, I cut about 50 of each. This is a bigger clue than some of the others. So this is good. We're getting challenged. And what else has been going on? So that's, gee, I just told you the main thing. In and around all of the doctor's appointments, the speech therapy, Bob's doing great. He says hello. In fact, he's downstairs watching TV because the boys aren't here playing band this week. but he's been cleaning out the garage. You won't recognize the garage if anyone recalls what it used to look like. There's still a ways to go, but it's really looking much better. Oh, did I just sew too? Nope. Okay. In fact, one of the things that I've wanted for since we moved in and built this house, which was now 11 years ago, right? I've always wanted to have something on the wall of the garage to hang my tools on, so that I could come in and just pick off my trowel or pick off my shovel or my rake. And for 11 years, I've not had that. Instead, we've had them in a pile on the floor in a back corner. And every time I would have to go use a tool, I would have to dig through the tools and bend over, and oh, poor me. So Bob has hung the tools. He went and got a Rubbermaid hanging system, and I just love it. So things do come to those who wait. He also went through bags of things that we had bought over the years for different construction projects. Because not only here, but Bob has been, he'll flip a house here or there, he'll buy it and fix it up. And we know, like Norma out there, I know you fixed up the house next door for your daughter and son-in-law, I believe. And you just always have extra parts, whether it's an extra doorknob or an extra spring, whatever it is. So we had a good, probably a shopping cart full of these random things that we had bought at Home Depot or Lowe's at one time or another over the last 11 years. And for whatever reason, it didn't work. Light fixtures or light sockets, or socket covers, those little plastic things. So, everything up to tubing and just things that you buy at the home goods store, not the home goods store, the hardware store. So today we bring it in, and the clerk is so kind to us. She goes and reads the barcode on every one of these items, and there had to be 50 items. I'm not kidding you. A little thing of screws, a little knob here, a little dryer vent there. And about half of it was actually from Lowe's, so that was good. And then she went, the computer looked, and in the past, we've been able to bring some fairly old things over to Lowe's, and they would reimburse you. Well, apparently they've had a change in policy, whether there's been abuse of it. We didn't have a receipt, of course, for any of this. But in the past, we've been able to return some things. Well, today was not our lucky day. We could not return anything except one item that we had bought 2 weeks ago when we went up to Worcester to fix a plumbing problem. That's something. So we came home. Thankfully, she put all of the Lowe's materials into a Lowe's bag, and Bob keeps all his receipts. So he does have them. I think maybe not that the ink on the receipts will have worn away. We'll see. We'll try and find a few. There's a Delta toilet roll holder. Just these most obscure, odd little things still in their bags. So the moral of this story is, I think, is when in doubt, or bring it back, because you can always go back to the store and buy something again. Or, so if you don't use something pretty soon, just bring it back to the store. And this public service message brought to you by Simply Colorful. Let's see, what else have I done? Oh, we have printer ink cartridges also in the car. We can turn in 20 of those a month and get $2 a piece toward our Staples reward cards. So if you have any printer ink cartridges, you definitely do that. Staples is being bought by another company. Did you know that? My nephew and his girlfriend work there, so that's how we know about it. Private equity firm has bought Staples, and be interesting to see what they do. Okay, ding. Is that Maureen ding? So again, send an email to lynn@simplycolorful.com. I want to see what you're working on. Who's out there? Let's see. And I think that ding was from my sister. But first, before we get to that, Diane. Hi, Diane. Diane says, hello, Friday Night Fibercasters. She says, hi, Lynn, and all the Friday Fiber Night Casters. You have no idea how glad I am that it is Friday. Really? What's going on? She says, why does it seem that it takes so long for Friday to arrive, but Monday arrives so quickly? I don't know. It's the law. It's an odd law of physics. She says, I wanted to share what I am currently working on along with my quilt tops. I was at my local 99-cent store last weekend, and while in the fall section, a vibrant wall hanging caught my eye. And as I was looking at it, I thought, I wonder if I can sew this into a front door hanger. Wondering how the plastic type material would sew up. So I bought one and immediately went home, pulled out all my fall fabric bin, and started cutting fabric for the borders and back. I can't believe how nicely it is sewing up and going to look especially nice for something that, well, started out as cheap as a plastic 99-cent store item. I love this. She says, I widely started doing quilting on the top as well. And let me tell you, it is what I needed to take away my fear of quilting on my domestic. Good for you. Go. All it is practice, right? She says, you can't see the quilting, but let me tell you. Anyway, still need to do the binding, which I sewed on this morning at 4 a.m. Just need to do the hand sewing. P.S. I've since gone back to the store and purchased a few more to make. I wish all of you Fibercaster friends out there a beautiful weekend full of laughter and joy. From Diane Wilson. Oh, out in California. You know, I love that last sentence. She's wishing us a beautiful weekend full of laughter and joy. Diane, right back at you. And, oh, that's so cool. Now, hold that thought, because I told myself I would use my big iPad this time. Here we go. So you can really see it. Oh, Diane, I love that. Look at that. It's whimsical. Happy fall. Very cute. Oh, and you can't see the stitching on top. Oh, I love it. Very nice to see you. Oh, let's see. Speaking of Norma, she says, hi, Lynn. I won't get to watch tonight. She and the husband are going out with their oldest daughter and her husband, so I will watch later on in the weekend. Well, hi, Norma, whenever this is later in the weekend. She says, I wish you could have heard me and Marquet on the phone trying to guess what pattern the quilt will look like. Oh, I love this. Jean and Kelsey, do you hear that? People are wondering, what is this going to look like? Well done. It really is a fun one. I'm so curious. So she says, we sent each other some just so we could see what the other was guessing, because I don't know the names of some of them, and I have to see a picture in order to see what she is talking about. LOL. That's why these mystery quilts are always so much fun to do. I just want to thank all you ladies for all that you do. Have a good weekend. Aw, you're welcome, Norma. Thank you, Jean and Kelsey, for this one, and thank you for being there. Oh. Colleen. Hi, Colleen. Oh, she says she sent a well wish, and she says, enjoy the small victories. Each day is a gift. Good point, Colleen. Anne. Hi, Anne. She says, hi to Lynn and all the FiberCasters. Attached are pictures of the clue 4 of the Color Circle Quilts mystery quilts. Just finished and pressed. And, oh, color wheel quilts. I'm sorry. Pressed my 4 bonus blocks for the Leader Ender Challenge with Bonnie Hunter. It's been a busy week and autumn has arrived in all its wet and windy glory, LOL. Hope your hubby is doing well and getting stronger. He is. Not sure I'll be up for FiberCast, but wish everyone a good weekend with lots of happy sewing. Take care. Love and quilty hugs. Anne from Guernsey. Oh, yes. Oh, you're all done, you hot ticket. Oh, and these are the pinks. Okay, so she has her Leader Enders, and then the pinks are the Color Wheel Quilt Mystery that we're working on right there. Aw. I bet it's the middle of the night. Oh, here's one more. Let's make sure we get this one. Love these. Oh, and there's your accent. Ooh, you went with a very light accent. I love it. Ah, what are they going to turn into? Okay. Now, there was a message here. Oh, I thought I did see. Hi, KB. She says, hi, Lynn, happy Friday. I know you'll figure out the quilting, and it's going to be so awesome when you do. I've got faith in you. Thanks, KB. As someone who was here helping me figure out the last one, I still marvel at all that you taught yourself that Saturday, a few Saturdays ago. Now, did I, oh. Hold that thought. I'm going to disappear for a minute. I dropped all of my whites. Hang on. I'm still here. KB, I hope you're well. The Bloomsburg Fair is going on. I love to see those pictures. And you have to tell me, are you getting a tractor? My sister posted a picture of herself and her husband in front of a John Deere tractor at the fair. Many of you probably saw it. I'm trying to give variety here, but I really didn't have too much. Kelsey and Leah with your grays. I bet this is going to look great, especially because you have so much variety. I know this is going to look good too. Just going to keep going, I think. No, maybe I'm going to stop this one. I want to have a little variety. So I'll leave one. And I need to put these in a pile. Oh, I'm so jealous of Anne. Although, no, that's not true because I am enjoying this. But the fact that you're all done is remarkable. So I'm just going to do this. Okay. So I may have a question. Press toward the square. Jean, if you're out there, diagram 7, the seams don't seem to nest. What did I do wrong? So I have diagram 5. KB says, so for anyone who wants to know about the tractor, KB says, ha, that'll be the day. Tractors are expensive and they don't come with a long arm quilting attachment. Oh boy. Sorry about that. It was a pretty picture. So here's my ironing question, Jean. Both of these, diagram 5, and then this one from an earlier clue, I have both seams going the same way, so they're not nesting. Did I do one wrong? That is my question. And if so, which one? Okay, so just trying to get, whereas these, diagram 6 and this nest beautifully. But maybe there's a reason why one shouldn't. I'm sure, though, I must have. There we go. Okay. Let's do 2 of these at a time. 2, 4, 6. There's Jean. Okay. So maybe I should just get you. Okay. So Jean says, did you press toward the big background square and toward the half square triangle? Okay. Oh, I think I see my mistake. Yes, I ironed toward the big background square, but I didn't iron toward the half square triangle. That's all I needed to know. Thank you. I'm going to take this out. And so these I basically ironed the wrong way. These have to go toward the half square triangle. Thank you, Jean. Heaven forbid. I'm not taking the whole thing out, believe me. Just a little snip. Oh, can you imagine if all your questions were answered that beautifully in life? Thanks for being there, Jean. It's like between you and Kelsey, my lifelines, and all of you out there. So I did, I should say to everyone that I did email or text Kelsey an admitted defeat earlier tonight. And I asked her if she had time to look at this baby quilt, which she does. Now, which way do I do this? So she is going to save the day for Deb. Okay, there. Oh, I'm going to get this one. I'm just going to undo it so that we have it. Oh, FiberCast is so good to us. It gives us something to do together for 60 minutes. Even if you're not working on a project. Or maybe you're sitting there with your husband or your girlfriend or anyone. Wendy and Crystal, hello. And Allie. So many of you I know are out there every week, and I'm so glad of that. I think I'll true these up. I noticed these were a little long. Yep, 6 5/8. They need to be 6.5 inch. They're good this way. This way, they're just a little long. Okay. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Go. Press toward the square rectangle unit. That's so fun that Marquet and Norma were talking on the phone. Okay. See, it looks so different compared to this one. Ooh, this is going to be fun. Okay. So these all go toward the white. Go toward the big square. Oops. Once again, I'm not doing this very systematically, am I? Where's my flow? There we go. I'm just going to do every one. Didn't want to do that. Drop them. La, 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 la. Whoops. $50 of these. It's coming together. So what else is new in the world? This is a random thought, but the Olympics are coming, I think, to Seoul in the winter. That'll be fun to look forward to. Talk about getting ahead of myself, huh? So I press my seam to set the seam, and then I turn it over. Linda Grant, if you're out there, welcome. It was nice to see you earlier this week. Linda came by. She has friends who are doing some rug hooking down in her new community, and I happen to have some rug hooking equipment. So I'm pleased to give it a home. I hope it's working out. And I hope that you are jumping into the mystery quilt. I know Chris is out for dinner, so she won't be on here tonight, but if you happen to dial in over the weekend, hello. And Carol Bell over yonder. Maybe you're sleeping. Oh, and I wanted to welcome several new viewers. So glad to have you. Again, send email to lynn@simplycolorful.com, and I will show what you're working on, a picture of what you're working on. And I even have a few notes from earlier this week that I want to get and read to you. See, so we're cranking. I'll read them after I do this pile. How's that? I think I see the problem, by the way. My seams aren't quite 1/4 of an inch. Man. No one will ever accuse me of being too precise. The little iron that I've been using, which I love, and the little board are good for small amounts of ironing, but I am enjoying this bigger iron for like production work. So we've been driving into Wellesley to do Bob's speech therapy. What a pain. There is a lot of traffic. And then, Oh, poor guy. He's doing just amazing things. He gets homework that they send him to do at home. And just before I came up here, now it's a Friday night, he's doing his homework, and it was pages of math problems. 8 plus 6, what is it? 7 plus 3. And it's good for all of us, right, to exercise our brain, but he said, this is ridiculous. I kind of agreed with him. But then there were some other more challenging word problems and categorization, and he's doing so well just learning how either for capabilities to come back as the brain heals, or to learn techniques for working around what might not be coming back so soon. And the brain continues to be an amazing organ. Carol, I don't think you're online, but I wanted to share that last time I saw Carol, she and her husband were heading up to Vermont to see red-tailed hawks. And just how close they get to the hawks, I'm not sure, but they're celebrating their anniversary. So Carol, if and when you see this, happy anniversary. Ooh, I love these pretty. I like this bright blue color. What is that, a royal blue? Oh, and can you believe it? Prince William and Caroline, do I have Caroline right? Uh-oh. They're having another baby. Very exciting. Okay, 3 more. Okay, who's out there? Did I just do 2 more, 3 more? I forget. Yay, you're out there. Oops. Oh, Carol Bill, you are out there. From over the sea, she says, hi, Lynn and FiberCasters. Hope you've all had a good week. We have. I hope you have too. She says, I've done part of clue 4. I think it must be doing something. I must be doing something wrong. Ooh. We have Jean on the line, so she can help us. I'm sure she'll help us. She says, step 4 says press towards the square. As I am writing this, you are asking the same question and now have the answer, but we'll be doing them tomorrow. It's 1:30 here, so I'm going to put things away while watching the last half of FiberCast. Oh, well, by now I hope that you might be in bed and sleep well, and I'm glad that that question was answered. And I can't wait to see, oh, you sent a picture. Ah, I love it. Look at those scraps. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I love your batiks. Oh, sleep well. Oh, and Allie down under. Hello. She says, hi, Lynn. I wasn't going to email today as I'm still sewing brown bag mystery while I watch FiberCast. But then I had to move to the computer for another reason, so thought I'd send a quick email. I'm so glad you did. I've had a busy week sewing and will continue for as long as I'm able while at home before heading off on our next trip. So for those of you who might not know, Allie Down Under does a lot of traveling with her husband and her son, and the pictures she sends are so fun and of such unique places all around the country. So you're off to your next, she says, Allie says, I will sew this week's clue later and post on the Simply Colorful Facebook page. I just posted the last brown bag block completed and now moving on to clue 6. Good for you. Oh, love Allison. Hey, Joyce. Hello, Joyce. I'm sorry that took me a minute. It showed up as a text in my email, so I'm thrilled. So Joyce says, the modern quilt came out beautiful. Thank you. Do you like it? The other one is smaller, and I'm going to bring it. I don't have it in front of me, but that's what I'm bringing on Monday. And this is the larger one. I wanted to try it again. She says, so thank you. I appreciate that feedback. She says, I'm working on a jelly roll race or a 1600 quilt, whichever name you want to use. It's made from Kaif Facet Jelly Roll. She says, I'll take a photo and post when it's done next week. Oh, good. Have a lovely evening, Joyce. You too. Oh, how fun. Sam, I am. Oh, we know who this is. Deb. Oh, no, it's not a bother. She says, I'm so sorry Sam's I Spy quilt is such a bother. It's not a bother at all. It's a learning opportunity. I do love the Mickey on the back. So do I, for a cuddly feel. So thank you for all your efforts. And thank you, Kelsey, for the rescue. She says, I'm sure it's going to look wonderful. A perfect gift for Samuel's 2nd birthday. Aw. And she says, FYI, my square and rectangle did not nest either. Aha. So thank you for letting me know. I'm going to go back. Jean, I hope that maybe you've already sent me an update to this and I goofed. But I'll go back and look at the clue where we made these and make sure that the instructions are correct. I bet they are. It's just operator error. So anyway, this is all great. The end result will be a wonderful pattern. Hey, Sandra, what's it doing in Mississippi? Oh, it's finally cooler in Mississippi. I love this. I don't need the Weather Channel. I just need Sandra. Sandra says, hi all. Well, I'm behind as usual, she says. I'm still working on step 3, the second half. Finally feeling like sewing. Oh, that's right. You weren't feeling well. Well, that's good. I'm glad you got a little done. She said, I sewed about 2 hours today, so I'm just enjoying watching you tonight. I'm also working on Alyssa's EPP project from Wisecraft, and it's fun. Ooh, very good to know. So Alyssa's English paper piecing project from Wisecraft. Check it out. If Sandra's doing it, it's going to be fun. She says, have a happy weekend, everyone. Hugs, Sandra from finally cooler Mississippi. You too, and keep on getting better. Let's keep going here. Oh, don't move. I've dropped a few white squares. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Mhm. Up here in New England, it might rain tomorrow, it looked like last I saw, which is too bad because I think there are some craft fairs around. But Sunday looked good. We're doing a raffle quilt up at the church for a few hours. In fact, I sewed some brownies for tomorrow's soiree. I was telling my mom I discovered this wonderful packet. Not that I would, heaven forbid I make something from scratch. I'm not there yet. But in my quest to learn how to cook more or to just get back into it. Although, no, I've never really cooked. What am I saying? I've discovered a great package of brownies, so I've made that for tomorrow. Clink. All righty, there we go. So those are ready to go. I'm going to put these aside for now, and I'm going to go to diagram 8. I'm going to make those because those are nesting. So how many of those do I need to make? 26. Okay. So here and here. Oops, forgot a step. Ah! Need these still. Da 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 da. Okay. I'm thinking we should invite Jean and maybe Kelsey back if she wants. Kelsey might be busy quilting me Sam I Am quilt, so she may be busy. But if she's done with that, I think we should invite them back to show us the reveal. Wouldn't that be fun? They should. Okay, let's make sure we get all the brights in here. Nice of Norma to send that thank you. That tickles me. Oh, another thing we did today, we returned cans over in Milford. That's a lovely job. What I do like about it is your recycling, of course. And we get a nickel a piece. I wonder if that will ever go up soon. It's been a nickel for a long time. If we were really good, we'd move away from using cans at all. It's going to take me a while to get there because I love my soda. I weaned myself off of Diet Coke years ago, but now I drink Diet Ginger Ale. And oh, and Mom, I thought of you today. I went to Stop and Shop, or maybe it was yesterday, and looking to refill our soda. And Bob's been drinking the Coke, the Diet Coke, and both the Diet Coke with caffeine and without. And you know how we were talking about Stop and Shop only has one or the other, not both? Don't you know, the one over in Milford had no liters of Diet Coke without the caffeine. I thought of you. Nothing. Shelves were bare. We have no idea what time it is. That's what you call getting into flow, I think. Flow, not to be confused with the woman who sells Progressive Insurance. Isn't her name Flo? Flo, Flo, Flo. So I not so gracefully just checked, and it's 8:54 here. That means we have 6 minutes to see what we can accomplish. This is a great clue. This is fun. Mm-hmm. Three more, four more. Okay, here we go. Go. So what can we, next time I see you, it'll be October of 2017, which means October, November, December. We'll only have 3 more months left of this whole year. And then we go into 2018. Yikes. So the question is, are we having fun? How did people start off today's notes? Are we having fun? Are we finding joy in what we're doing every day? Isn't this pretty? This is when the quilting is really fun. You know, when you're putting, I love piecing. Everything's cut, just putting it together. Okay. Let me iron this one. And then I think I'll check and see, make sure I haven't missed anyone. Because I did want to say hello to a few new viewers. Oh, Sue Norton! Hello, Sue. We've been thinking of you. She says, this is a test of the new email address. I love it. It worked. I have nothing new to share that I've been working on. Grandmother died last week, and I just got back from Missouri. She was almost 100 years old. Wow. That is impressive. Oh, we're sorry. Sue brought back boxes and boxes of memories. It's going to be sorting pictures for a while, but hopefully next week I'll get back into the quilt room. Take care, Lynn, and I love the quilt behind you, so modern. Thank you. It's so easy. When you're ready, I will show you how. In fact, maybe later this fall or early next spring. This is one of the quilts that I'm going to the New England Quilt Museum on Monday, and I'm hoping some guilds want to make it with me. So stay tuned. And I'm sorry about your grandmother, and I'm glad the email worked, and I'm glad you're there. Good. Okay. I did want to say welcome to Jeanette Todd. Jeanette joined us right in early July, and right soon before I left for a few months. So welcome. I hope, Jeanette, that you're still out there. And you mentioned that you're in Queensland, Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. So you watch on Saturday. So happy Saturday. And the bushfire came up. We're nowhere near the fires. I'm over on the eastern U.S. And she says, I hope you're not near them, staying safe. Love the FiberCast show. Don't always get to watch it live, but love watching. Your new follower, Jeanette. We're so glad you're out there. Send pictures and say hello to Wendy and Allie. You must bump into them, right? That's supposed to be funny. Who else? So glad you're out there. Here we go. Helen Vasily. Helen V. Hi. She, back in June, wrote a note to my other email, and it said, a woman asked about quilt shows in Hershey, PA this summer. Well, yes. And thank you for telling us where it was. And actually, I believe that's the one my sister and Cher went to. And she said, would love it if you made some bags or zip pouches. We're definitely going to put that on the list. So thank you. We have probably up next is a basket quilt. And you'll hear more about that in the coming weeks. But we'll definitely add some zippered pouches. Good idea. And then Pat in Central Indiana. Hi, Pat. Pat recently said, I haven't figured out how to get notified when you're starting. I'm a newbie to YouTubing and to Simply Colorful. Well, welcome. So to be alerted when FiberCast comes on, I believe the best way is to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And it's youtube.com/simplycolorful1. Subscribe to that, and then you'll get an email when we go live. And I think it also goes out maybe when I set it up on Thursday nights. I try to post it to Simply Colorful on Facebook too. So welcome. And Pat is doing the mystery quilt using fat quarters and quarter yards. She says, I love the 1 clue a week, as it doesn't seem as overwhelming as one whole pattern. I agree. And you get it done, right? It's almost like doing your exercises. You know you have to do this much this week, and it's awesome. Not only it's amazing how much we get done in 60 minutes, but with these mystery quilts, it's amazing what we get done in six weeks. Anyway, she likes a little bit of mystery. The hardest part of any quilt is fabric choice for me. Oh, so many choices. I know what you mean. Hope to see you next week. Thanks for the motivation, Pat in Central Indiana. Oh, and let me click this to download. Oh, and thank you for sharing. I love this. That is going to be stunning because there's such contrast. I cannot wait to see this. Plus, you've got the complementary color thing going on with the orange and the blue. Welcome, Pat, and welcome to all of you, and thank you all for joining me here on FiberCast. As always, it was a great hour for me. I hope you enjoyed it. Be well, be kind, and be creative. How's that? See you next Friday here on FiberCast. Bye, everyone.